Knockout legends in the building. Like, comment, and subscribe. Post fight review of Anthony Joshua versus Robert Helenius. So in the first round, it was a kind of tentative feeling out. Helenius kind of was in the fight, and he came with a few jabs, and it was kind of boring, but I'd say I'd give Helenius the first round because he came to fight and threw his jabs and tried to counter. Joshua was just taking his time, jabbing, going to the body, then double jabbing to the head, and then when he could, feinting quite a lot, moving a lot quicker. I was actually impressed in the first round with Joshua's movement. His head movement was good. His foot placement was good. He was moving very quick. He doesn't seem laboured at the weight he was at, and he seemed very athletic. So first round, I'd give possibly, just by what I saw, a little bit more, because even though it was a bit of a tentative round between two fighters, I'd say I'd give Helenius that round. So in the second round, Joshua pressed more, and when he came out, he was doubling up on a jab and then throwing the right, and he was feinting quite a lot as well with the head and movement. He had good guard, and he kept throwing with shots to the body, so jabs to the body, and then coming up like feinting, and then jabbing, and then double jabbing, and then throwing the right. He had a little bit of success. He backed Helenius up a little and tried to take centre ring. Helenius was there still moving, and he took his time a lot more, Helenius. So when he could, he would counter Helenius, try to go with the like a right hook and try to hit Joshua. So second round I give to Joshua. Third round the action actually picked up a little bit more, and there was more engagement. Helenius went a little bit more on the back foot. Joshua pressed the attack a little bit more. He was jabbing to the body, then coming upstairs, double jabbing to the head, then throwing the right. He let his hands go a little bit, but he still was more defensive minded, moving his head, feinting, had his guard up. Helenius at this point, I think, was trying to time Joshua, and he kept getting like little sneaky shots in, and I think he managed to have a little bit of success with like the right cross when Joshua would come in, but Joshua didn't come in as much, but he had more success with the jab, feinting, and just movement. I was actually impressed with his movement, but there's something I need to say about the commentary. The commentary is just, it's tosh. I'm sorry, but listening to Barry Jones and listening to Tony Bellew, I wouldn't even, sometimes I think to myself, these guys are boxers, man, and they're his fellow countrymen, and you have to understand, even when a fighter's fighting and he's changed trainer and stuff's happened to him psychologically, and then he said stuff in the press conference on what he's going to do, everything's going to take time regardless of what people say and then what they actually do. You could see the impetus in the third round with Joshua, what he was doing, and why he pressed the way he pressed. And he was tentative because Helenius come to fight, and Helenius is no mug else. Why would they have brought him in and used him as a late replacement? He's not no slouch. Come on. Derek didn't knock him out, and Derek back in his time was pretty decent, and he was a rugged fighter, but styles make fights, and like Helenius can box. He gave Kawanaki problems. So I don't know why people keep saying, oh, you know, the more rounds it goes, you know, he's going to get more confidence. Well, what do you expect? He's boxing. But anyway, going into the fourth round, Joshua moved more, and he pressed more, and he took the centre of the ring, and he was jabbing. He feinted quite a lot. He had a lot of head movement. He was moving, and he kept feinting. He was a lot more athletic. His guard was up, and he looked more fluid. I think that's a good weight for Joshua. It's just, I think because he's there to be hit, sometimes he will get hit, and I don't think that's anything he can do. As you're getting older, you're going to slow down a little bit, and sometimes you're going to get hit. And Helenius can box, because we've seen what he did to Kawanaki. When Kawanaki would come in, he'd just stop him and pop him and counter shot him. So, you know, but at this point, Joshua did have a little bit more success, and the double jab was there. He just wouldn't actually let himself go, and he wouldn't commit as much. But I don't blame him, because you only need to move or go for the kill when you know the person's hurt. That's how you fight. That's boxing. You don't always have to try and make openings and like rush in, because that's what Joshua's been guilty of in the past. Same with the Andy Ruiz fight, where we got greedy, and when he did what he did to Ruiz and he dropped him, because that was the first time Ruiz has ever been dropped. Once he dropped him, then when Ruiz got up, you would have expected Joshua to finish him off, but Ruiz just stormed in and then just won't let his hands go. And I think it overwhelmed Joshua and stunned Joshua. That's why he got knocked down. So he's learned from that. And obviously I think he learned from the Pulev fight, where he was hitting Pulev and doing what he was doing to Pulev, but Pulev still wouldn't really go. But Pulev tried to come into the fight, but like at times wasn't really at the races. So I don't know, it's just a bit of experience and a bit of confidence and things like that. But again, Joshua took that round. Coming into the 5th round, we saw Joshua moving a lot more, and he was pressing a little bit more. But at this time, Helenius is like more relaxed. His guard's down a little bit more. He's fighting more of a relaxed style, and he's having a little bit more success with the shots. He's getting hit more, obviously, but he could take the shots what were coming, because there wasn't really as many rights. There was just mostly like jabs and jabs to the body, and when the right got thrown and they come up close, Helenius would just grab and hold. So at this point, Joshua was pushing away, moving his head, and just doing everything he could to get a look to set traps to see if Helenius would commit, but he wouldn't. So coming into the 6th, kind of the same thing again. But at this point, Joshua was starting to get a little bit more success, and as the fight kind of carried on, the commentary again, just rubbish. Like listening to the the zone commentary is just, I don't know what people expect of Joshua. They expect so much of the guy, and don't get me wrong, I understand why they do, but like, you have to still understand it's a fight. If he loses this fight and he gets knocked out by Helenius, what are the papers going to say tomorrow? They're going to say he's rubbish. They're going to say he's a bum. He's overhyped. He's a hype job. He's overhyped. He can't fight anymore. He's gun shy. He's this. He's that. You know, if he doesn't knock him out, people need to stop comparing him to Deontay Wilder. Him and Deontay Wilder are not the same fighters. They're two different total fighters. They've got two different styles, and they keep saying that Deontay Wilder will knock him out. Now, I don't know why they keep saying this, because Wilder knocks people out quick and does this. He uses force and speed and momentum to knock people out, and he lines people up based off how they are when they come out, when they're aggressive. So a lot of times the force and the speed what Wilder uses, when he uses the momentum to set up the right hand, people walk into the punch, so they get dropped because they get greedy, because they think, oh, Wilder's only skinny, we can knock him out, we can bully him. Yeah, but you be careful when you run into that right-handed punch, because he will set you up and he'll blind you, and it'll come bam in your face, as shown by Brazil, as shown by Axel Helenius himself, as shown by Fury, you know. So Joshua's not going to do that, and Joshua's never really done that. I've only ever seen Joshua rush in the Ruiz fight, so the chances of him walking onto that right hand, I reckon they're pretty slim, and especially with the way he's fighting now under Derek James, I do actually see a lot of improvement. He actually does look a lot better. He looks more defensively sound. Yeah, he got hit, but I think that's going to happen anyway with anyone that can actually box. And Helenius obviously has confidence because obviously he's coming as a late replacement. He's got nothing to lose, and also it's a case of he's trying to basically make a statement, and he possibly has made a sort of a statement, especially with the stare down, because he got under Joshua's skin. But anyway, going into the 7th round, we saw a little bit more of the action pressing and moving up and going on, and Helenius was countering, but Josh was still moving, hitting, feinting, got his guard up, and then throwing the right when he could, and then some good shots. Helenius throwing like check hooks when he could, as Josh was coming in countering, and then a great combination of Joshua where he throws a double jab and a hook to the head, and he catches Helenius, and then and he just backs off. So then Joshua throws like a throwaway jab, then another throwaway jab, but doesn't connect, and then he throws it overhand right, and boom, Helenius is out. 7th round knockout completely. He doesn't even move, he's just completely gone. So Joshua wins in the 7th round knockout. And my thoughts on the fight: at times he was actually reaching a little bit more, and he did move, but his fighting has actually improved, and his head movement was a little bit better. But I think going into probably the last 2 rounds of the fight with Helenius, the 6th and 7th, he slowed down a little bit more. Helenius had a little bit more success and would counter when Joshua not actually connected, or if he connected, and he'd bounce away. So Joshua had to chase him around the ring, but he was using his size and his reach, because it was obviously effective for him, because he could. But eventually Joshua caught with him and knocked him out. So based off the performance, we knew Joshua was going to knock him out. Joshua knew he was going to knock him out. It's just a case of when, and I think his style has improved, and I'm looking forward to the Wilder fight. I still think in that fight Joshua will win, even though Wilder is got a deadly right hand. I still think Joshua will win that fight. I think he would knock him out. So anyway, who do you think will win in the Joshua fight, and what do you think of Joshua's performance in that fight, if you have had the chance to watch it? So leave your comments in the comment section, like, comment and subscribe, and that is another one from Knockout Legends. Peace.